Today we will be building a DIY smart plug using this Sonoff in conjunction with an extension cord. As always, let's get started. In order to connect the Sonoff Wi-Fi smart switch to the extension cord, we will have to snip the extension cord probably about a foot away from the receptacle plug right here. You'll start by snipping here about a foot away, and I know it might feel weird, but you just gotta cut it. So just like boom, done. So next thing you want to do is, you can see here you have the copper wire inside, and you want to strip the outer casing off of the wire so that you have access to the wire underneath. So in order to do that, what we're going to do is we're going to take our wire cutters here, and you want to pick about a 1/4 of an inch here, probably just like that, if you can see, and you're just going to want to press down very slowly, because you don't want to go all the way through to the point where you actually break the the wire inside. And you're going to want to press down until after you bring the wire cutters back up again. You can see little bits of the copper right here, which means that you've pierced the layer. And then what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to put it laterally, or like this, on the extension cord. So you're going to want to put it like that, and then you're going to want to just press very lightly, just like that. There we go. And you can see you've kind of made a ring all the way around with a pierced cut on the extension cord. And so now what we're going to want to do is we're just going to want to lightly push down right here again. But this time we're going to pull. We're going to pull until... So now that we have stripped this part of the wire, we have to go to the input end of the Sonoff Wi-Fi smart switch and remove the cover. Now, as you can see, there's a screw here and here, allowing for a neutral input and a load input. Now you might be asking yourself, how do I determine the neutral and load wires on an extension cord like this one? Well, the neutral wire will always be the wire that has ridges on the side of the insulation. So what you're going to want to do is, after you've determined the neutral wire, which has the ridges right here, which means that we will be putting it in like this, neutral, load, you will be screwing the wire into these terminals here, being neutral and load. So what I like to do is I like to kind of pinch the wire here. You want to pinch it together and make it as compact as possible, so that what you can do is you can look very carefully here, and you can just barely slide it in there. Now, after inserting the Sonoff into the sockets, as you can see here, you can see that the threads are both completely inside the terminals there, and that it's all perfectly well in there. There's no loose threads hanging out or going in other directions but inside the terminals. So as you can see, the two screws on top, we will be now tightening those screws in an effort to keep these threads tight and inside. So you just tighten it clockwise like so, as tight as you can. And basically what that does is that just holds the wire in place. And so to make sure that your wire isn't abnormally loose, what you can do is you can just give it a little tug, and you can just be like, you know, you don't want to pull too hard, otherwise it will come out. But otherwise you just give it a little tug to make sure that the wire isn't coming out anytime soon. Now we will move on to the other side, the output end of the Sonoff, as you can see here. So now what you want to do is you want to take the other end of the extension cord that we have not hooked up to the Sonoff yet, and we just want to strip the wire here so that we have access, you know, to the bare bone wire inside. And so we're going to do the same thing that we did before. You're just going to take a 1/4 inch there, and you're just going to very slowly make pressure, just little bits, just like that. Just a little more. And then we can even go, you know, just like this we did last time. You can just go like that. What we want to do is we want to make a ring around, you know, a ring of like cut, and then we're going to pull. You can see that it's just breaking. It's breaking apart there. And then boom. We did it. We have exposed copper wire without losing like almost no threads inside here. So now what we're going to do is, just like before, we're going to thread this side to the other end of the Sonoff. We just look for the side of the insulation that has ridges, and that will tell us that this is the neutral wire side, and then that obviously can tell us that this is the load wire side. So what we're going to do now is we're simply just going to, just like before, pinch these together, and you know, we're going to just try to compact every last bit of these threads so that it'll be easier to insert these into the terminals. And then all we have to do is, you can see the tiny holes there in the terminal. We just have to get the load and neutral wires in those holes, and it is that simple. Okay, so you can see I got one of them in there, and we just need to get that other one. And boom, you can see that the wires are in really good. There's no stranded wires that are sitting out there. It looks really great. So now what you want to do is you just want to hold this here, and you're just going to keep that as tight as possible, holding that there. And then you want to take your screwdriver and tighten the terminals, just screwing the screw clockwise as tight as you can. And then boom, you've got it connected. You just give it a gentle tug to see if that's good, and you can see that this isn't coming out. So it's actually really great. And then you might be thinking to yourself, well, this is still really dangerous, like the exposed live wires are still there. Well, that's correct. That is why these come in. These come with the Sonoffs, and basically what these are their end caps, basically. So what we're going to do is, you can see here they have these like these teeth here, and they kind of push down real hard here on the wire, and it provides extra support so that that live wire isn't coming out of the terminal real fast. You know, if there's any like tension or anything like that. So what we're going to do is you're going to need your end caps, and you're also going to need the screws that came with your Sonoff. So what you're going to do is you're going to take that screw that you just put in here, and you're going to push down, and you want the holes in the cap to line up with the holes on the Sonoff itself, so you might have to apply a little bit of pressure, but eventually you'll start screwing in the screw and you'll get tension there, and you just want to make it real tight. And so then you'll take your other screw here and you'll screw that in really good. Boom. And you can see actually here now the end cap is actually almost flush with the enclosure itself, and I am like pulling really hard here, as you can see on this wire, and it's not coming out. It's in there. So it's really safe. So now we just have to do the other side, the output side, and the end cap for that side. So we just take our other end cap here and we push it on there. Make sure the holes are lined up inside so you can see clearly through. And then all you have to do is drop the screw in there, start tightening it. Alright, and you just start tightening it. And there you go. That is right there a complete Sonoff integrated into an extension cord. And so now basically whatever we plug into this end, whatever's plugged into this end will turn on or off using Alexa or any kind of voice command or through the mobile app. So this is a really great tool. It's just like buying a smart plug, except it's way cheaper, and you can hook up more than one device. You can hook up several devices to the same switch. Please like and subscribe to see more videos like this in the future, and thanks for watching.